Right, so today's a special day because today's the first day I've heard of the Ottoman Empire, but I never heard of Osman Bey the First. So for everything I've been working on, I just sewed up something huge. And I don't mean like I sewed it up, I just mean like I can't believe I'm on this like thing, on this path, and just discovering about Osman the First, or Othman the First, Osman the First, Osman Bey the First, like of the quote unquote founder of the Ottoman Empire. So I'll get to that later, but it has everything to do. I mean, that's like shifting from the 1200s into the 1300s, 1400s, which also is tied up very nicely with the emergence of the text of Golden Legend by whoever. It was translated into English by William Caxton? Or I can't remember his name, but that influenced this painting made in 1905 of St. Agnes. And anyway, it's a good day. Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Carmen. Ottoman. OTTO. Ottoman. OTTO. Otto. AUTO. Otto. Switch up the OTTO and you get TOTO. Toto. Throw the N from the end in and you get Tonto. Dorothy in the movie Blue, White, and Red. The Lone Ranger. Blue, white, and red. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. I got more on it later. A lot more. Oh yeah, Ottoman. Carmen. Ottoman is an auto man. Guy in auto. Carman. That really comes back to Bernie Mac in the first Transformers movie with Bumblebee. I'll get to that in my Michael Jackson code. That's right. I'll get there. I think I'm gonna be alive in 2045, so I got some time. But shit keeps coming up. I can't get to what I want to get to, what I wanted to get to, because every day there's some new thing. Osman 1. Osman Bey the First. O. Bey. B-E-Y. O. Dot. B-E-Y. 1. OB1. Strong's Concordance. Obeisance? Obeisance? So I'm obeying. I'm obeying because the nows of today have collapsed onto this moment. Fucked up as it is. So, uh, sibling, right? I was listening earlier because I found Osman because I was thinking about Iran because I was thinking of Carmen Sandiego, right? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? That's still an unanswered question until now. Carmen, Auto Man, Auto Man, Car Man, OTTO, AUTO, Ottoman, Auto Man, Carmen, song. Carmen means song, right? But Carman's also, I mean, it's Carmen, so auto sales, but auto sales. So then we're talking about the what C's are those? And so Ottoman, Carmen, Sandy, desert, Ego. So you have Carmen, Ottoman Empire. Okay, so is it Iran or Turkey or some of the other surrounding area? Sandy, well, it's a desert because it's sandy, and Ego, 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 which is ego, which is, well, ego in English, but it's still, I think, pronounced in Latin, ego, EGO, I. So it's Iran. So I looked up deserts in Iran, and there's two famous ones, and there's the Lut Desert. Well, a lute makes a song, Carmen. Also, in, I don't know what language, transliterated into English, the first word is like dashed. It's dashed apostrophe something, but dashed, Iran. When you dash, you run. So, and there's a city outside of there. There's a city out on the outskirts of the Lut, or the Lut, or the Lot Desert. Anyway, that was a big find today. And I found some Turkish, like, I think it was like, well, the first season of a 3-part series, each episode being like over 2 hours long. So maybe with commercials it would have been like a 3-hour documentary or something. 3 of them. So it's like 6-7 hours, 7+ hours of documentary with English subtitles. A dude took the time to make the English subtitles. As long as I live long enough, I will read every word. Osman. But yeah, sibling. Anyway, so then I was thinking about Iran, and that got me thinking about like years back when I used to be into a different part of the conspiracy. I was looking at, it was when Bush yeah, right? Was Bush still in office? No? Maybe Obama was in office. I can't remember. It was the president of Iran when like Bush was having problems with Iran, and PBS NewsHour, they published this speech at the UN from the Iranian president, and I pretty much consider him like the Persian Arthur Fonzarelli. I don't know why. When I look at him, I'm like, he's the Fonz, but he's kind of like The Iranian president fawns. Also awesome that he wears a suit coat with no tie. But when you just listen to his words, you take all the worldwide politics out of it, and if you reinterpret some of his words into our vernacular, motherfucker spot on. U.S. delegation walked out, and if I remember correctly while I was watching it, but I didn't get to the end of it because the nails collapsed upon this moment for me to make this video, was that I believe at like toward the end of the thing, he starts off talking about Allah and all this, you know, and at the end of it, he talks about like the second coming of Christ at the UN. And he actually gave a really good speech, you know. What if human beings were reduced to their speeches? You know, when people say talk's cheap, right? But then what if you reduce someone, like, this is one of my big reoccurring themes, and I got more to do on it because it impacted me in my life serendipitously, is Hillary Clinton, right? And like how everybody hate on her, but like, she's a lady in this male world with a glass ceiling. She's defining, you know, oh, pantsuits, all this and that or whatever, but like, there's no aesthetic for her. For all these women, like, there's no established aesthetic, there's no acceptance of who women are. Women are still fucking pounded down, man. Pounded, you know? Never mind the bearded women, and there's a lot of them. I'm allowed to do this. If you saw a woman looking like this right now in front of you, man, I mean, it might get a lot of hits because people will be like, check this shit out. For being what we are, how we're born, right? So, how far have we come? We're talking about AI and getting off the world and all this, that. Great, good, awesome. But what about that? What if a woman didn't want to wax and shave and primp and prune and fucking makeup and this and that? What if they didn't want to do that? Now, that's not to say hygiene isn't important. I have terrible hygiene, you know. And shaving, when I shaved all my shit, it made it easier for me to keep cleaner. Which was actually the act of laziness of me wanting to spend less time cleaning, as if I didn't spend too little already. But I got important work to do. Just keeping it real, but the work is important. And I'm trying to breathe that work through my failedness, which is big. So, but yeah, if we actually reduce, because we're bound in structures with each other. So there's all this pressure from each other, and a lot of that pressure is nightmares. But we also downplay like how good things are, you know. Things are pretty fucking good if we make the right choices. But it's hard to make the right choices because what we think is right ain't right. Especially when we're living in a world where most people are everybody's at least a little bit psychic. And we receive a lot. And not just from people, but from things closely related to people and things not closely related to people. But every time that hatchet comes down, every time that guillotine comes down, every time that kill shot, boom, you know, I mean, and no offense to this person, but that like aesthetic woman who did the TED Talk about the more humane way to kill animals. And everybody did the clap. Sorry, I can't clap with my phone in my hand. Bravo! I mean, on the one hand, yeah, good for her, but like, we're congratulating her for adapting, for being, people say that autistic people aren't emotional, but that's not true. That's not true. they associate with emotion differently, and to a large extent, they've successfully done that sever up to a point, and they still have that point. But like, imagine this, right? Now just imagine you looking a little different. Do you do this? Do you poo? Do you poo? Of course you do. Right, so anyway, I was watching something of that Iranian president, well, on this phone, when it was over there. On this. And, he'd said some word, and I can't remember what it was, but I was just thinking about how it could be alternately translated, and I thought of had something to do with, like, something that could be interpreted as, like, brotherhood or sisterhood. And then I thought about the whole sex thing, and my main concern about the whole, like, the language deal with, like, gender study type stuff, my main interest is for the hermaphrodites. Never talked about or, like, lumped in with all this, like, thick language that, like, regular people can't understand, which is good. It's good that it's in academia's language. That's very, 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 very good. My concern is that it has to touch people like me. It has to touch the people I see every day in my life, and people like whatever that means, but it means something, and there's a difference, and you know what I mean. So I still like the word hermaphrodite. I think it's better than whatever else. If we make these things, you know, that's the thing, like the scientific words, you know. But science in the modern day as we know it isn't necessarily as rational as we think it is all the time. Can you speak to root 2? If not, shut up. When it comes to reason. The mother and father of reason is geometry. Period. End of story. End of story. Geometry. You know, Bertrand Russell tried to make mathematics part of logic. Geometry. Mathematics. Logic. I mean, lines and circles. On a plane, you know. Do planes exist? But anyway, I came up with siblinghood. 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 So that's what I wanted to get to, is siblinghood. Because ling is tongue. So like in Latin, ling is associated with language. I don't remember much from Latin, but I remember Latina lingua, Latin language, ling, tongue, lingua, language. So sibling. And then what's sib? Well, the B and the P are associated, so a sip, if we took a sip, we're taking a sip of water. And we can do a P by breathing out from our lungs, P, or just by puffing out from our mouth. But to get the B, you have to breathe. with the beat. You can't do a buh just from your mouth. Just by pushing like pressurized air in your mouth out. You can do a puh, but you can't do a buh. So to get the buh, you gotta breathe. Buh. So ling, tongue. Sib, connected with sip. Buh, breath. So sib would be to sip. So when you sip, you put something in your mouth and then swallow. When you sib, it's a small breath. A small breath. With the ling, with the tongue, with the language. A quiet voice. That small, quiet voice. That quiet breath. Sibling hood.
What's the FBI's current information on Parkins? I heard he was assaulted himself.
My information can be summed up in a few words. King is a political...
Quiet breath hood.
Degenerate.
Well, you say that, J. Edgar, I have to take it seriously. But if he's a degenerate, what I do know is...
Only thing I can think of would be the roof of the mouth. So, sounds we make with the roof of our mouth.
What's he about to do next?
Mr. President,
With our tongue on the roof of our mouth.
shut up.
I used to have a hard time making the 2 or 3 tones. I'm not saying I do it well now, but I can do it. And, sometimes when I put my tongue to the roof of my mouth, it was easier for me in the past. Now I'm having a hard time doing it because I haven't done it for a while. But I'll get there. There's a sound to it. So I'm going to follow the path. When I'm moving my mouth like that, I don't know what I'm doing. So I just tweak my muscles and mess around until I find something. Sometimes it takes me right off, a couple seconds. Sometimes it takes me half hour. It's taken me an hour before. But something's coming that I'm gonna like. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. And then I was collapsed upon it. So I gotta do it. even close yet, but I'm gonna keep trying. I think it's an E thing. I think it's an E thing. I'm feeling it in my dome. Yeah, maybe I'm just beyond it now. I don't know. I can't make it happen. Before, I couldn't make it happen without my tongue on the roof of my mouth. Now I can. I think it does have some health benefits. Makes me feel better a lot of the time. I can't say I know what I'm doing, but I know when something feels good. And I know if I shift my mouth around, like I can focus the vibration on certain parts of my body sometimes. But it also depends on the way I hold my body. And it's had a lot of benefits for sure. But I can't say exactly what they are because I've not studied it. But I understand like the whole concept of it. And I certainly can't say that it's going to make up for the harm that I do to myself, which is substantial. Substantial. Yes, siblinghood. Philadelphia, well, fidelity, faithfulness, Philadelphia, brotherly love. What's the city of sisterly love? Lesbos? Okay. What about siblinghood? What about hermaphroditic love? When three loves three. I guess that's all I want to say today, but I'm going to top it off with something I haven't said for a while. I've still been carrying on the St. Agnes flag, but I haven't been doing a good job of carrying on the Harriet Tubman flag. Harriet Tubman, human size, in the middle of the viewing pool between the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Monument. Looks like the possibility exists even the Lincoln Monument is going to be burned, which is a tragedy, and I understand. It seems as though Monticello is going to be burned, or one of the associated nearby plantation farms is going to be burned. It's a shame, but I understand. But it's all about the Underground Railroad. Thomas Jefferson was a faker and a liar. He was a faker and a liar. And he lied to everybody. Because he was part of the Underground Railroad before the history of today knows it even existed, happened, was. And it goes way the fuck before that. So yeah, the Tubman flag, man. Harriet Tubman. She was certainly the St. John of America. She was the New Testament. Or the John the Baptist of America. But I'm pretty sure she was John the Baptist and the Christ of America, so to speak, wrapped up in one. And what was the other thing? Tubman, Osman. What was the other thing? What else have I dropped as my story? Not my story. What else have I dropped? What else have I let up on? Man, I can't remember it right now. That's okay. Agnes Tubman. Who else? Someone else. Fuck. So I'm just gonna chill and have a smoke. I got time. I freed up some space on my thing. None of this matters except for in so much as it matters. And for some reason this matters, so I'm gonna do it. Tubman. Agnes. Osman. siblinghood. I can't remember who else I was gonna mention. I'll get there. I mean, this stuff is starting to lock in pretty good, but
That highway's nice now. Should have a couple hours.
that old story.
Good people in those parts, though.
That old story, man.
Well,
It's all at our fingertips now.
I'm worried about the ones who ain't so good.
It's our job to put it together for each other so that we can handle the truth. And the truth is just what Jack Nicholson said it was. Can't handle it. And I know, I know of what I speak. I know of which I speak when I say that.
It just takes the edge off.
But I'm still here,
I don't joke about that.
and so are you.
You're right. So,
It's about everybody. Every single
Put these things away in your back.
soul.
I didn't know I shouldn't leave myself out.
That's it. Hope you're having a good day.